Hello and warm welcome to the news on NTA International, reaching you from Abuja, Nigeria's capital. I am Adu Ademwalso, and the headlines. President Buhari expresses appreciation to media practitioners in the country for enhancing the nation's electoral process. Trader money social investment scheme still very much in operation as 30,000 traders per state benefits. INEC says no supplementary governorship elections in Adamawa and Bauchi states as earlier scheduled. Plus, World Health Organization sends health assistance after Cyclone Idai displaces thousands of people in southern Africa. Now the news in details. President Muhammadu Buhari has formally expressed Nigeria's appreciation to media practitioners in the country for enhancing the transparency and accountability of the nation's electoral process through professional conduct during the 2019 elections. Receiving in audience the leadership of the Nigeria Union of Journalists, the president, however, made a case for support and cooperation with his administration toward bringing a sustainable end to the devastating consequences of the fake news phenomenon. State House correspondent Adamu Sambo has details.
Describing journalists as important pillars of every society, President Muhammadu Buhari said their news reporting responsibility is what drives public opinion and facilitates decision-making for good governance and effective service delivery.
This means you have a moral and professional obligation to present the facts as they are. I seek your support in ensuring that you report the truth. You must not allow yourselves to be influenced by individuals with divisive motives. I agree that journalists face significant threats in executing their mandates. Please be assured that the security agencies and all instruments will continue to do their very best to protect journalists, especially those operating in hostile environments.
The president, however, expressed worry over the way and manner the untrained participants in the social media platforms present stories that are neither true nor factual to millions, thereby creating an alternate reality in their minds.
I am sure you will all agree that the biggest threat to the sustainability and credibility of your profession is the uncontrolled and unregulated news platforms operating in the cyberspace. Innocent lives have been lost or destroyed due to this fake news phenomena. I therefore seek your cooperation to bring a sustainable end to this menace.
While wishing Nigerians a peaceful supplementary elections, President Buhari promised to remain committed to a safe and secure nation, inclusive and diversified economy, as well as a governance system that is free of corrupt practices as he looks forward to the next 4 years. NUJ President Christopher Isiguzo had congratulated the president for his re-election through the ballot box, which he attributed to his record of integrity and genuine commitment to national development. He commended the Nigerian leader for the giant strides recorded in the fight against terrorism and insurgency, as well as corruption, which he described as systemic and endemic, saying the Nigerian media will continue to play a vanguard role in Nigeria's quest for good governance and corrupt-free society.
Your Excellency, sir, although it is said that the media and government cannot be institutional partners, since one is expected to hold the other accountable. However, we are all stakeholders in the Nigerian project. We shall therefore, as a duty, continue to support the fight against corruption and the quest for peace and security, good governance, and the rule of law. Corruption leads to the depletion of national wealth, and all hands must indeed be on deck to ensure the success of this fight.
President Muhammadu Buhari also granted audience to the governor of Edo State, Godwin Obaseki, and Abubakar Sani Bello of Niger State behind closed doors.
If you understand Nigerian politics, I am the only APC governor in the South and Southeast. So it means that I must keep a very close relationship with my president.
Niger State should be assured that we're committed to providing dividends of democracy. We're committed to completing projects we have started. In addition to new ones we want to embark on that will be of benefit to the general public. So there's still a long way to go. There's a lot of work to be done. We'll get on it as soon as possible.
More messages of felicitations are still pouring into the presidential villa as celebrations continue across Nigeria over the recent endorsement of the next level movement by the nation's majority. From the State House, Adamu Sambu, NTA News.
Contrary to speculation in some quarters, the trader money scheme and other grip microcredit product, a component of the President Buhari administration's social investment program, are still very much in operation. Senior Special Assistant on Media and Publicity to the Vice President Laolu Akande disclosed this in a progress report on GIP microcredit products comprising of the trader money, market money, and farmer money. He said so far 30,000 minimum beneficiaries per state have been achieved in the 36 states and FCT since after the national and state polls. On the measures adopted to enhance repayment, the Presidential Media Aid says the program has pioneered innovative solutions to drive repayment compliance, while other traders have started collecting second improved 15,000 naira loan. Moving on, INEC has scheduled 13th of April for the conduct of supplementary elections in Rivers State, while governorship supplementary elections will not hold this week, Saturday, in Tafa Balewa local government area of Bauchi and Adamawa State following court litigations. This was during a press briefing by INEC in Abuja. Mia Ogidi reports.
The Commission encourages all registered voters in the areas where elections will be conducted to come out and cast their ballots.
18 states will have the feel of election activities again. Though some are for state assembly seats with just few polling units, others National Assembly, but the major ones are the governorship supplementary polls in Benue, Sokoto, Kano and Plateau states on Saturday, March 23rd. Rivers State will have its turn on the 13th of April 2019, while Adamawa and Tafawa Balewa local government area of Bauchi State will not take part in the governorship supplementary elections due to pending court litigations.
It should, however, be noted that the litigation and consequential order only affects the collation of results for the governorship election in Tafawa Balewa local government area. Consequently, the supplementary elections will proceed as scheduled on Saturday, the 23rd day of March 2019, in the other 15 local government areas of Bauchi State, as well as in the Krifi State constituency supplementary elections in Krifi local government area. Similarly, the Adamawa State High Court issued an injunction restraining the Commission from proceeding with the supplementary elections following the application by the Movement for the Restoration and Defense of Democracy, MRDD, a registered political party which did not take part in the main election. Notwithstanding the legal action over the supplementary governorship election, elections we hold in Nasarawa Binyeri State constituency in Mayobelwa local government area of Adamawa State, where the election had to be countermanded following the death of a candidate before the polls, as well as in the Obagaya State constituency in Hong local government area.
Even in the face of all these, governors whose elections have been concluded will go home with a certificate of return between the 27th and 29th of March 2019, while those whose elections are to be concluded in a later date will have their certificates of return on the 19th of April 2019. So, all eyes on March 23rd, for now, with a common prayer for these inconclusive elections to be concluded. Mie Ogidi, NTA News.
The Saturday rerun election will be held in 100 polling units in 5 local government areas of Imo State. Resident Electoral Commissioner of Imo State, Professor Francis Ezenu, disclosed this while speaking on level of preparedness by the Commission for the rerun election. Beatrice Anyam reports.
The 5 local government areas where the rerun election will hold include 12 polling units in Olu local government area, 9 in Ngokbala, 17 in Oguta and 15 in Isu, while Ikeduru local government area has the highest number of 47 polling units. Results of 22 out of 27 local government areas of the state have been declared before now. Imo State Resident Electoral Commissioner Professor Francis Ezonu said election in the 100 polling units were disrupted with snatching of electoral materials and violence.
After collation, we discover that the margin of votes between the winner and the next person is less than the number of cancelled votes. Then the only option is to declare it inconclusive. We are prepared for the election on Saturday. So as usual, we have security personnel, but like I always say, the law does not allow these people who will be working at the polling booths to bear arms.
Professor Ezon, however, pleaded with politicians to conduct themselves as good managers and call their supporters to order. In Owerri, Beatrice Anyam.
And in Benue State, the Independent National Electoral Commission is to conduct the supplementary governorship election in 22 local government areas in the state and the state assembly elections in 9 local government areas. The 23rd of March 2019, the Resident Electoral Commissioner stated this after a meeting with stakeholders in Makurdi preparatory to the exercise. Charles Abba reports.
The cancellation of the governorship and state assembly elections in some areas in Benue State by INEC was due to violence and failure to use card readers. The Resident Electoral Commissioner, Dr. Nintawe Yewada, explained that only 109,733 voters who collected their PVCs out of the 121,299 registered ones would participate in the governorship polls. He added that the elections will be held in 204 polling units under 49 registration areas across 22 local government areas in the state.
If any electoral officer refuses to give any information to anybody that is required, our numbers are open. Our telephone line that we get are still open. You can report them and we can take any action.
Dr. Nintawe further indicated that no new party agents would be admitted for the exercise and that electoral officers for Obi and Vandikia local government areas have been stepped down from the supplementary elections. The Commissioner of Police, Umar Muri, the Deputy Governor of Benue State, Benson Abonu, and other stakeholders appealed for peaceful polls. The Commission says there will be no movement of persons during the exercise across the state. In Makudi, Charles Abba, NTA News.
While in Kano State, the governorship rerun is expected to be conducted in 76 wards, which consists of 280 voting points in 29 local government areas. Fatuma Senusik Arai was at some of the affected areas to gauge the mood of the electorate on how they are preparing to participate in the governorship rerun.
This is Gama Ward in Nasarawa local government area of Kano State, one of the wards where the 2019 governorship rerun election will take place this Saturday. And people in this community are anxious and ready to come out and cast their ballot. They said they are optimistic that the process will be conducted peacefully and in an orderly manner. I have with me Zaharadin Yusuf, resident of Gama Ward, and is eager to exercise his franchise.
To exercise our votes this coming Saturday, and our priority is Gama because our is our hometown, and we cannot allow anything to happen to our community.
We are ready to exercise our votes in a peaceful manner, inshallah. A visit to Gobarawa ward in Dala local government area, the scenario is the same with what is obtainable in Gama in Nasarawa local government area, though election in Gobarawa is expected to be conducted in 2 polling units out of the 18 polling units. In Kano, Fatima Sanusi Karaye, NTA News.
Meanwhile, ahead of the governorship and state assembly supplementary election in some states of the country, scheduled for the 23rd of March 2019, the National Peace Committee has organized a town hall meeting in Jos with key stakeholders geared toward reinforcing peace during the exercise.
The meeting is held simultaneously in some states where supplementary elections will take place as part of the committee's initiative to ensure the electoral process ends well. Representative of the Chairman National Peace Committee, Duke Aneomwa, emphasized the committee's commitment to upholding peace by organizing high-level dialogues such as this.
This meeting is geared to reinforce the message of peace and to implore actors and their supporters to accept the outcome of the results of various levels of the electioneering process, especially this rerun.
Resident Electoral Commissioner Husseini Halilupai and Commissioner of Police Plateau State Command Isaac Akimoede said they are working together alongside other security agencies to achieve a peaceful, free, fair and credible election.
In the delivery and deployment of electoral materials, INEC is also at a comfort level in its readiness for the elections as scheduled.
Representatives of religious, traditional and community leaders, civil society organizations all added their voices to advocate for peaceful elections across the states where supplementary elections are taking place. In Jos, Zenra Dingmun, NTA News.
This is the news on NTA International, reaching you from Abuja. We take a short break now. We shall be back with more news in a moment.
Who is stepping up on this platform this week?
For authorities to step up.
The greatest advantage we face is the failure of people to be paying tax to Nasarawa state government.
Pension payments should be a pleasure and not a pain. You're welcome to Stepping Up.
Welcome back. A total of 1,111 suspected electoral offenders have been arrested by the police and military during the recent 2019 general elections across the country. The Force Public Relations Officer, Assistant Commissioner of Police Frank Ba, disclosed this at a joint media briefing of the Armed Forces and police spokespersons at the Defense Headquarters in Abuja. Defense correspondent Ismail Musa has details.
The Joint Security Spokespersons News Conference is to shed light on the operations of security agencies at the just concluded 2019 general elections and preparations for the March 23rd supplementary electoral process across the country. The forum noted that the involvement of military in the elections on the invitation of INEC is backed by the Constitution.
There is no doubt that the Nigerian police is the lead security agency tasked with the provision of security at the polls, while the military is to support the police and other security agencies by providing security at the outer cordons.
On the alleged misconduct of some security personnel, the Force Public Relations Officer explained that investigations are ongoing.
The alleged involvement of some security agents in some of these unfortunate incidents is of serious concern to the military and the police high command. While we appreciate the fact that some of these issues may be as a result of the overzealousness of some personnel, it is instructive to note that some of these incidents were instances of impersonation by political thugs clad in military and police uniforms.
There is no loggerheads between the armed forces of Nigeria and the police force.
He assured the public that both the military and paramilitary security agencies are working together to create enabling environment for voters. From the defense headquarters in Abuja, Ismail Musa, NTA News.
Thank you, Ismail. And moving on, poetry, they say, reaffirms the common humanity by revealing to peoples, individuals everywhere in the world, the same questions and feelings they share. In celebrating World Poetry Day, UNESCO recognizes the unique ability of poetry to capture the creative spirit of human mind. Rachel Schreiber, in this report, takes a look at poetry as a way of communication as the world marks Poetry Day.
Poetry is described as a deeply valuable tool for communication and artistic expression.
Poetry has enormously affected ideological reorientation or triggered ideological reorientation in Nigeria, especially in the current age of social media, the current age of youth emancipation and the political ideological movement.
The United Nations Educational, Scientific and Cultural Organization designated 21st March as World Poetry Day in its 30th General Conference held in Paris. The resolution to celebrate 21st March as World Poetry Day was passed at the third plenary meeting of UNESCO on 27th October 1999 in Paris. Though this day was designated to give attention to this means of communication, how has this improved the perception of people?
Responsibility simply means ability to respond. You are placed in authority for others out of obscurity, but benefit of all through corruption you package in your baggage as luggage, assassination, intimidation, all because of position, just spreading evil like bacteria that causes malaria in my area. You had better change before you end up in total destruction. We are celebrating poetry, and I want to communicate to our leaders. Leadership is an avenue to serve, to build a better nation.
The observance of the World Poetry Day is also meant to encourage the return to the oral tradition of poetry recitals. In Abuja, Rachel Shaibu, NTA News.
And for news trending across the globe, let's join Joyce Ometu.
The World Health Organization is providing urgent assistance to meet the health needs of thousands of people affected by flooding in Malawi, Mozambique, and Zimbabwe. The floods were triggered by tropical cyclone Idai, which swept through the region last week and left thousands of residents without power and means of communication. The government of Mozambique estimates that more than 1,000 people may have died, with 50,000 awaiting rescue. In another development, New Zealand will ban all types of semi-automatic weapons and assault rifles following the Christchurch attacks. Prime Minister Jacinda Ardern said she expected new legislation to be in place by 11th April. An amnesty has been imposed so the owners of affected weapons can hand them in, and a buyback scheme will follow. Police reports indicates that all of the dead have now been identified. And these are some of the stories trending across the globe. I am Joyce Ometu.
President Muhammadu Buhari has condoled with the family, government and people of Kwara State on the passing of the Esu Patigi, His Royal Highness Alhaji Ibrahim Umar. In a statement signed by the Senior Special Assistant to the President on Media and Publicity, Garba Shehu, the President commended the monarch's commitment to the peace, stability and development of not only his domain, but also the entire state, urging that his worthy legacy be sustained. President Buhari has also commiserated with the family and government and the people of Katsina State on the transition of the district head of Kafur, Alhaji Rabi Abubakar Dangaladiman Katsina. The president described the late traditional ruler as a deeply religious, peaceful and kind-hearted man who was committed to the welfare and progress of the people in his domain. President Buhari prayed that God Almighty would comfort the bereaved families, friends and associates of the departed royal fathers and grant peace to their souls. Next is Sport Update with Kene Emma Bodike.